Hey everybody, it's me, Remy the Comic Book Poser. I'm here today to welcome you to Enter the Poserverse. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time to talk what books we're picking up on Wednesday. So to see if I have to sell an arm, a leg, a kidney, and a kid to be able to afford books this week, you'll have to check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Number one, make sure you comment on this video. Comment, even if you are in the live chat here during the premiere, or I guess here, not in the back of the room. Don't hop out and murder me. But make sure you comment to get your Poser Pile entry, which we will give away this Thursday when we for real interview David Pepos. And I pray to God that my voice is back so I don't sound like I'm about to go through puberty again. But join us 9:30 Central to talk Savage Avengers and all of the indie works that David has had his hands on. But without further ado, let's talk books. All right, I think this is a relatively light week. I think I saw my projected spending was $76. And this could be way off because I'm recording this video on Saturday morning. And we all know how temperamental and wishy-washy League of Comic Geeks is with changes. So, who knows? But the first book is from Valiant. It's Armorclads #2. I loved the first book that I read it right after I recorded my weekly pull video, like I read it Monday at work. And we're learning about people who have a mundane task, who are maybe potentially finding a way to rebel against the structural order that they are tied to maybe give them a little bit more meaning in life than being grunts that are going to die, right? Like, they're the NPCs that die in every action sci-fi video game, but they're trying to change that fate. Next up, we got the Avengers #55. I talked about potentially dropping that, but I am excited to know that we're going to see some Nighthawk playing its way into this, and we're going to see... Is this the one where we saw Red Panther, or was that something else? I don't know. But I'm intrigued by the idea of the Heroes Reborn Nighthawk playing his way into this storyline. So we know that the Avengers for me is on a lifeline just because I feel like I'm overwhelmed from some of the backstory that I'm not familiar with. Next up, we got Blue and Gold #8. Now I think this is the last one. I'll be really sad, and I hope we get some more Dan Jurgens Booster Gold, or anybody writing Booster Gold, because I think this is amazing. Now that Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are dealing with literally every kind of random person that they can help, their quality of life has improved, their bank account has grown a little bit, but we see if there's anything that's going to take them down. From Image Comics, we got Bolero #4. I'm finally caught up. I still think this series is as brilliant as the first issue was, and I'm still going to try and do a long-form kind of review of why I think everybody should be reading this series. Next up, we get Captain America #0. We are getting the introduction to the new arc, which I'm excited to check out. That I still have, like, I think the last 4 or 5 issues of Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on this, and I don't know if the creative team has changed. I think it has, but if it hasn't, then I'm down to enjoy some more Coates goodness. If not, I want to see what gets set up for this new volume of Captain America. Catwoman #42. This is going to bring to close the first part of this arc of Catwoman. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy learning about the new French good guy who might be kind of bad. I have been enjoying all of the covers of this book, and I still blame Bruce from Bruce and Stephanie Comics for making me fall more in love with another DC book. Next, from AWA Upshot, we've got Crimson Cage #5. This is the final chapter. I am sad. Like, again, I think this becomes an amazing way to tell the story of Shakespeare through the twisted, independent pro wrestling circuses. But we get to see the final battle between Chuck Frenzy and Emmett Crow. We get to see, if anything continues to change in his life. Has he made good on his promise to the women of the swamp? And, if you've read the source material for this, you know how it's going to end. But I want to see John Lee's spin on it, because I think it's absolutely brilliant. To be honest, I don't know why I'm pulling this Doctor Strange title. I think I saw Doctor Strange. I saw #1. I know that the Multiverse of Madness is coming out, and I was like, okay, I'll read some more Doctor Strange before we get the next movie. But that's honestly it. Next, we get Flash 781. This is beginning of a new arc now that they are away from Gem World. That we have a new threat who has shown up to challenge Wally, and I'm still enjoying this Flash run, so I'm down for more. Next is Hulk number 6. It's the end of the first arc of Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley's run on Hulk. This is the issue that has been mightily blown up in terms of hype, that it's had all kinds of promises of the debut of a new character in here. So in a world where we find that, whether or not Bruce will successfully maintain control over Starship Hulk or not, nobody knows. Next, I'm picking up 2 covers of Philadelphia, and I love both of them a lot. But this is part 3 of the ongoing arc. You heard me yesterday talk about how much I enjoyed the end of the first arc of Nita Hawes' Nightmare blog. I've been really enjoying how Philadelphia continues to find new ways to play with history, to make us question the occult intentions of our founding fathers, but continues to find way to constantly reference drama from the earlier arcs, and I absolutely love it. Next up from AWA Upshot is Knighted number 5. I think this is the final book of this arc, maybe just of this volume, maybe of the whole series, where we know that the uprising of basically the cyberpunk style body augmentation, like cybernetic people, is happening. So we'll see if our unconventional superhero has risen to his best, or if he's going to take a hot L to this protest movement about discrimination against those folks. Next, we get Nice House on the Lake number 8. This is going to be the first book I read this week, hands down. After as trippy as number 7 was, will number 8 begin to offer some clarity with Walter? Will we continue to understand more of Walter's motives? Will we see more time hopping and start to understand what's going on? Like, this book I'm excited not just to read, but to pick everybody on Shop Talk's brain about, since we spent so much time talking about issue number 7. Speaking of books that we love to talk about on Shop Talk, we got Primo's number 3, where we started to see the understanding of the new team come together to fight against like the big evil, like Aztec gladiator type guys. So I think this is wrapping in either 4 or 5, so we're going to hit the height of the dramatic arc in this book before we start to see some resolution, but I'm hyped to see what Al Madrigal and the rest of the team can do with this one. Next, it wouldn't be 420 if we weren't getting a book about weed. So we from Image Comics had The Secret History of the War on Weed, which is interesting, especially seeing who's coming together to put it together. First, I love stand-up comedian, television star, and also proclaimed author of some kick-ass Deadpool stories and other books. Brian Posehn is teaming back up with his Deadpool team of Jerry Duggan and Scott Koblish to tell a story from the war on drugs, and I'm excited to see that and read it on the day of the ganj that I can't partake in because Kansas is no fun. Next, we've got Slumber number 2. I'm pretty sure number 1 was my pick of the week when it came out. We're starting to see what this nightmare detective can do, how the threats may continue to rise and challenge, and where the real villain may lie in all of this. Next, we get from Marvel Comics Gwenverse number 2. Tim Seeley and the creative team are working on telling a different what-if kind of story of Gwen taking over a character, and we get Thor Gwen or Gwen Thor in this one, and I'm excited to see it play out. Next, we get We Live Age of Palladians number 2. I haven't looked to see if there are actually, since there was Black and White that told 2 different stories, probably need to make sure if there are 2 of this series that I'm picking it up, but I'm really enjoying it. And then the last one is Wolverine number 20. We get Deadpool showing up to work alongside Wolverine. I am, I think, 2 books behind still on this Wolverine run by Percy, but you know that I'm going to read it right away, especially if Deadpool's in there, because I want to watch those 2 play together, given some very entertaining elements from their past. So what do you think? Let me know. You know, if you're here in the premiere chat, I know you're letting me know over here, but either way, you need to comment, so you get your weekly Poser Pile entry, which we will give away this Thursday night around 10:30, 10:45 Central Time, because, you know, we're going to spend a lot of time talking to David Pepos about Savage Avengers and everything else that he's done on his belated 5-year anniversary in the comics industry. So as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.